The human mind is indeed quite fascinating. On one side, it is capable of elevating the human race to its greatest height. On the other hand, it's capable of bringing the human race to its lowest. Since the dawn of the Steam Greenlight, PC gaming has turned into a mass grave of shovelware, to the point that it's now impossible to keep track of all the bad games that are being released in the cycle of a year. Developed by Displacement Studio and released in 2016, Aztecalypse is an adventure horror game in a first-person perspective made with Game Guru. Set on a historical site in Mexico, you play as a scientist who must investigate on disappearances of an evacuation team. While this sounds cliche, keep in mind that the real issue of the game is not the story itself, but the fact that it's been made with Game Guru. Born from the unhealthy mind behind FPS creator, Game Guru is a game-making tool that spawned many abysmal titles since its original release in 2016. Like its Game Guru counterpart, Aztecalypse is an amateurish project at best, plagued with bad game design, poor optimization, and bugs. The game starts with a 20-second theme music featuring harmonica, and then we're greeted with 3 minutes of loading screen. That's right. You heard me right. Just enough to give us a bad impression. Aztecalypse features one huge map, made with bulky mountains, stretched textures, glitchy lighting, and shadow effects. Poor level design as well, uninspiring sound effects, due to a sheer amount of elements displayed on screen. The frame rate dips below 30 frames most of the time. As for the gameplay, Aztecalypse feels more like a walking simulator than an actual adventure horror game. Since you play a pacifist scientist, you cannot carry any weapons, except for a knife. You won't need it anyway because you can outrun the zombies really easily, and they do very little damage. Not to mention the fact that the models have no lighting and no shadow effect, so they kind of look very dark. That being said, your worst enemy is not the poorly implemented AI and horrendous visuals, but the map, as it can be very easy to get lost during your journey. The finale itself is worth mentioning, as it pins you against a horde of regenerators from Resident Evil 4 that can be avoided easily by running to the chopper, and you're greeted with the end. And the credits roll. Considering that Aztecalypse had undergone through an intensive phase of playtesting, it is incomprehensible how it got released in its state. While the video game industry leaves room for newcomers and experimentation, it's certainly not a place for high school projects, especially not Game Guru games. Aztecalypse gets a 0.1 out of 10.